All right, what's up, everybody? It's Ed O'Brien. This is the We Run the State podcast slash show. The first show got my first guest, kid I've been able to cover the last 3 to 4 years. Class of 22, class of 2022, defensive back Keenan Nelson Jr. out of St. Joe's Prep in Philadelphia. Keenan, just want to thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, no problem. I always got time for you.
All right, and I know the season just started, so one, for the folks that don't know, I believe you've been starting since you were a senior, correct? I mean, I'm sorry, a freshman.
No, I got time as a freshman, but I started as a sophomore.
All right, so but okay, so you've been starting for a good while now. This year's St. Joe's Prep team relatively young, but the expectations are still high, of course. One, how's the team doing so far this year, and two, as I mentioned, there's some younger players on the team. How are they adjusting to how St. Joe's Prep does things?
I think as a team, we're doing well. We got the young guys, but they got to learn from all the guys that graduated before. It was in their position. So, for the young guys, really, they just taking for what they learned and what they're getting coached up to do now, and just taking it and run with it as they get these starting spots and starting to play now. And yeah.
All right, and obviously you're the leader or one of the leaders on the team. What are some things that you've done verbally and just by your actions to help out the younger players on the team?
Um, Verbally, I probably try to get on them a lot more. Try to keep them at 100%, make them run at 100%. And for me, physically, and just showing them I got to do everything 100%, give 100% in everything that I do to show them that that the program is serious about this and this is how we work.
All right, and we didn't get to talk about this at this during the time it happened, but of course you committed to South Carolina, I believe, back in July.
Yeah.
All right, now just briefly talk about some of the things that led to that decision. And then part two of that question is, how do those coaches see you fitting into their defense?
Uh, when I went down there, it just felt like home. I could be myself, have a good time with everybody, and just not try to be like the shy person that I can be. I just was out of my shell, being funny and goofy. Um, and me going down there, that really just made me realize this is where I wanted to be. And coaches is talking about just using me in different ways. It don't matter. Like I told her I wanted to play corner down there, but they said if I got a shot at starting at safety, if I wanted to, I could take a chance at starting at safety or fight for a corner, starting a corner spot. So it's really just anything that I feel comfortable with.
And you know what? That actually lets. I was actually just touched on. Well, that's probably my next question. Um, I remember when I saw you at one of my camps when you were a younger guy, and then I seen the very next year you like grew several, a couple inches
Yeah.
within that time frame. So I was gonna ask, are they? I mean, because you cover like a corner, but
Mm.
now you have the body of a safety as well. So I'm guessing that's something you would be open to, or do you prefer to try a cornerback first and then see what happens?
I definitely want to try cornerback first and see what happens. Like I wouldn't mind if if something happened where I had to move to safety or stuff like that. But I definitely want to start off at corner and just see where it takes you from there.
All right, now you don't have to answer this question if you haven't decided yet. But do you plan on enrolling early?
No.
Okay, you gonna say the whole time?
Yeah.
I can take it. All right, so and something else I didn't get to ask you about. How did it feel to get selected to the top All Star game? For high school football players, the I know they don't call it the Army All American game. Is it just the All American game now? I believe.
Yeah, I think it's the Adidas All American
Oh, they
game
just All
now.
American
So
game. All right. I need to know
yeah,
that. But anyway, how did it feel to get chosen to that game?
I felt like a dream. I was really like a dream. But Trevor watching it for a long time
Mm,
as a kid. So when I first watched it, I seen Drake playing, and I was wondering like how he getting invited to all that. And then
yeah.
I see myself getting invited to an ACA being it. That's a big deal because like I never really saw myself being there before, and I can't believe I'm here now and about to be in it coming up this January. So
Yeah, congratulations on that, and that's definitely a big deal, and I'm definitely proud of you, of course. Last question: will you be taking any? Well, obviously not will you, but Do you have any set plans to go to any South Carolina games in the near future?
Definitely gonna try to catch a couple. I don't know which ones I'm gonna try to catch, but I'm gonna definitely try to get down there and try to catch a couple games. Have a good time with the coach staff and the players. So,
All right, Kenan. Well, look, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know if you got some homework to do or whatever, but I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, and I'm sure I'll talk to you again before you head off to South Carolina. So I appreciate the time, man. Good luck on the rest of the season.
all right, thank you. No problem, man.